And Professor Peter Blaise Corcoran has played a key role traveling last year to represent Unity Earth at UNEA in Nairobi, as well as at the Castel Gandolfo with the Vatican and Laudato Si with sponsorship from Purpose Earth and the Hollow Movement that allowed us to do that. A dear friend and a co-conspirator as we walk this journey together. I know it's late for you to be doing a presentation, Peter Blaise, but thank you for your patience. And thank you for all your love and support. Your intellectual and spiritual contributions to Unity Earth are vast, and it's an honor to have you with us tonight.
Thank you, Ben. The sun has sunken into the Gulf of Mexico, so it is past my bedtime. But thank you all, and thank you, Marty. You always take us up the mountain to higher ground. Really appreciate it. So the question I've been asked to address is, how do we as Unity Earth organize ourselves to best serve the collective mission? So I'd like to speak to part of the answer, and this talk is more prose than poetry, some of our pragmatic work. So when we speak of the collective mission, my assumption is that the collective mission is to create a just, humane, sustainable, peaceful world, and that ecological spirituality, as we've been calling our work, will contribute to that. Okay, so how do we then, as Unity Earth, organize ourselves to best serve the collective mission? I say that part of the answer is through highly selective strategic partnerships based on Unity Earth's foundational concepts. So Ben has asked me to share a bit about my work as senior advisor for faith and ecology, representing us at various meetings and venues, and I'm really happy to do that. So first, Ben, maybe you could put up the slide for a second. What I've done here is identified 4 foundational concepts, and then I'll just say a little bit about how we've been bringing those into being. The first is ethics. And of course, our guiding star here is the Earth Charter, which we have officially adopted as an organization. And we're actively pursuing, and you could take it down now, although people might rather look at the Pope than me. But we're actively pursuing a strategic partnership with Earth Charter International. Ben visited Costa Rica, our office in Costa Rica this year, Earth Charter's office in Costa Rica this year, and I'm actively following up with Miriam Villela, the executive director there, for one of these strategic partnerships. Now, an example of this work is that I was privileged, and maybe many of you others were as well, to be involved in a global ethical stocktake. I know some of you were. And this was part of the process of preparation for COP. It was an invitation from the Brazilian president of COP to make this a COP of conscience. And these stock takes happened all over the world. I was privileged to attend. I did a number online, but I was privileged to attend one extraordinary one led by Mary Robinson and Marina Silva, the Minister of Environment for Brazil, and Mary Robinson, the former president of Ireland, were part of the official group that put this together. So ethics as one of our foundational concepts. Second, interfaith harmony and interspirituality, of course. And this is a strong focus of many of you and many of us in Unity Earth. I've been working in particular with Catholic activists and with the Vatican in the spirit of St. Francis's life and Laudato Si, Pope Francis's great encyclical on ecological spirituality. And I was privileged to be at that meeting. You saw the picture of the Pope. What he's doing in that photograph is blessing a Greenlandic iceberg that melted before our eyes over the days of the conference. And as the Pope said, that this would now be holy water that would bless our work on the spirit of Laudato Si. So interfaith harmony, interspirituality, forming partnerships there. Third is multilateral internationalism. And I say redefined because this core value is under such attack by the United States, of course, and the world is trying to figure out the geometry, if you will, as Prime Minister Carney calls it, the new geometry of how we will work together. I worked with Ben and others to help Unity Earth become an accredited organization to the United Nations Environment Program. And we achieved that status, and I was privileged to attend the United Nations Environment Assembly at the end of 2025. This is the highest level environmental policy meeting that there is. It's attended by heads of state and mostly ministers of environment, ministers of climate change, and so on. So I was privileged to represent Unity Earth there, and that's an opportunity for us to work in the intergovernmental space. And fourth and finally, as a foundational concept, I offer indigenous wisdom and the wisdom traditions. And here I want to valorize indigeneity. In some ways, I think it's the most important philosophical foundation for our work. We're blessed, of course, with the critical participation of a number of Indigenous colleagues. My own work is mostly in Australia with Aboriginal Australians. But as we think about how we might serve the collective vision, I want to emphasize how much, of course, we have to learn from the foundational wisdom of Indigenous ecological spiritualities. And just one quote from a paper that Mindahi authored for Kurt. He writes, "We need an integrated world based on dialogue, reciprocity, and complementarity that will carry through all the future generations." And this next line, I think, is a call to us. "We must strengthen the work of those who, in continuity with their originating principles, sustain the ancient wisdom and spiritual traditions that preserve the sacred balance of Earth." Indigenous traditions are, of course, the oldest human heritage of ecological spirituality. And this wisdom directs us to live in unity with Earth. So thanks. I welcome through email or any other way you'd like to chat, critique, suggestions, and ideas for how Unity Earth can continue work on these strategic partnerships and foundational concepts. Thank you.